Sam, I'm really grateful. It's kind of an ad hoc recording here, but I'm super grateful that you were able to join me so quickly. Great news for California concealed carry holders. I just had a class on the BSIS exposed permit for security guards, and they would have been affected by this as well. I think on their way home or on their way to work, they want to stop and get gas or something, getting stopped at the gas station. I mean, it's not so. So this is a big deal. What exactly just happened? I mean, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, well, Joel, you know, the whole world has been upset about the SB2, especially those provisions that declared virtually the entire state of California a sensitive area. All private businesses, all private properties, you know, you can only carry with under certain provisions, and then all of the areas that were absolutely specifically identified as being places you couldn't carry. Literally, having a CCW in California under SB2 was worthless. You could not carry without breaking the law daily and regularly. So we put together a legal dream team, CRPA, Gun Owners of California, Gun Owners of America, Gun Owners Foundation, and the Second Amendment Foundation. And we filed a lawsuit called May versus Bonta. That's Reno May, a YouTube content creator, and Anthony Miranda, who is the armed scholar, and they are the lead plaintiffs, challenging all of the sensitive places in the state of California. So the Attorney General wanted, well, we got a ruling from Judge Carney, a federal district judge, who ruled that the sensitive places portion of SB2 was repugnant and completely unconstitutional. So he issued an injunction not allowing that portion of the law to go into effect. In other words, January 1st, you can carry anywhere that you used to carry with this injunction in place. Well, the Attorney General, Rob Bonta, went whining and crying to the emergency motions panel of the Ninth Circuit. Every month, there are 3 judges that are assigned to this special, let's see if anything happens, sort of a team. And if anybody issues an emergency motion, they handle that, and then they deal with it from then on. So this emergency motions panel agreed with the Attorney General and the governor of the state of California, and they issued a stay. And now we're getting into all of these issues, stays and injunctions and temporary restraining orders and all of that stuff. Basically, the emergency panel said, no, Judge Carney's ruling will not go into effect. Yes, all of the sensitive places within the state of California under SB2 are going to be active. Well, we all know that that was a gross violation of the Second Amendment. Most of the sheriffs in the state of California came out against it vehemently, and the community at large was up in arms. So what happened? Our legal dream team, CRPA, GOC, GOA, GOF, and SAF, we went to work. And as late as last Thursday or even Friday, our team issued a motion or request to the Ninth Circuit to reconsider the actions of the emergency panel and to reverse that. Well, today, 2 days later, on a Saturday, I think the court is trying to make it look like, they were going to do this anyway. But the fact of the matter is they don't do anything on Saturdays typically unless they're pushed to. And we pushed them to the brink of falling off the cliff. And so what they did is they said, you know what? We're going to dismiss and overturn and overrule the actions of the emergency motions panel. And we are going to allow Judge Carney's injunction to go into play. Therefore, all CCW carrying all sensitive places that were listed in SB2 are no longer valid for now.
Well, now you say for now, and so I'm going to ask, because I'm going to be
yes.
I'm going to be the I don't know.
Don't say devil's advocate, because
I'm
there's
not
nothing
going to say
devil
that
about
because
you.
I refuse to be his advocate. I'm just going to be the wet blanket in the room, and I don't mean to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, we know in California this goes back and forth all the time.
Yes.
And so the question is, are we done with this part of the issue as the case moves forward, so that we can fight to prove that these sensitive places provisions are unconstitutional? Or does the California get to go back and go, well, now wait a minute, we need a do-over on this stay, and try to get a stay of the vacate, you know, and try, I mean, are we gonna go back and forth with this thing? We can carry, we can't, we can carry, we can't. It gets absurd after a while for Californians.
The Ninth Circuit, and the interesting thing about it is the panel that issued this reversal of the emergency motions panel decision to prevent Judge Carney's ruling from going into effect. They were swatted like a fly on the ground by somebody at the Ninth Circuit, and there are judges who are looking down at the ground to see if that fly is going to live again. It is a splatter on the ground. So for now, we're going to move appropriately through the merits hearing before the 9th, and that's going to happen this April. This ruling that came out today said that this case is going to be held this April, which for the Ninth Circuit is like light speed, that they're going to contend with this case. So this is a huge, amazing, wonderful victory for us.
Oh, I agree. Okay, so I want to just clarify, though, the case in April, though, is not about the stay. The case in April is about the constitutional reality of the sensitive place issues. Am I getting that right?
You have it correct.
So we're not revisiting the stay over and over again. I mean, we're done.
No.
And now we get to go fight for our constitutional rights and prove that this sensitive place nonsense and the vampire provision, all that kind of crap, is exactly that. It's just crap, and we can get it tossed.
That's true. Right? And if we get a panel that disagrees with us, which would not be a very wise thing for them to do in these days, they can issue their own stay of the Judge Carney rulings. But that is not the issue that they're going to be dealing with. They are dealing with the actual merits of the case. This is the merits panel. This is where we're going to talk about why the sensitive places are unconstitutional, why the fact that Justice Thomas said that you can't make the entire island of Manhattan a sensitive place, or places, just because there are a lot of people there. You can't make churches. You can't make a lot of these places. So we're moving right along with this case. And Joel, I want to tell you this, man. I'm starting to get the feeling that somebody at the 9th realized that they better do this, because they were way off the reservation, way off in bad territory with this emergency panel ruling. Given what happened out of Hawaii, where a Obama judge ruled sensitive places unconstitutional, what Judge Carney did here, completely and totally quoting Bruin, and the 9th has already been spanked by the Supreme Court with not doing the right thing and two-step procedures, and now they have to rule according to Bruin. And so I'm thinking that there are some judges on the 9th who are going, oh baby, bring this case on, and we're going to show the rest of the majority what the Constitution means and what it's supposed to, what it says. So I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm really tempted to send Governor Gruesome Nuisance a case of Tums and Pepto-Bismol and say, I know we gave you a bellyache, but there's more coming. Here, this way you can be prepared. Yeah. Because that clown, I mean, so I guess the question of, before I rag on him too much, which I probably ought not do, but I'll do it. I probably should do it. But I'm not gonna
do it.
Okay, come on. If you're going to do it, do it. No, the guy's a clown, let's face it. Okay, so this obviously is not it's not the death of this thing yet. And obviously, you've been a lobbyist up in Sacramento for a long time, so they're going to come back with some other absurd
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
But does it make it harder as we win these things? Does it make it harder for them to come up with crap to try? I mean, do they run out of things that they can try at some point or other, or does it get stupider and stupider as they go and more extreme as they go because they just can't do the obvious stuff anymore?
Yeah, well, it's that old
Or
stupid
am I
is as
just
stupid does thing. But the fact of the matter is that we are now getting to the point that when I get to go before the public safety committees, either in the Senate or the Assembly, I'm no longer just looking at the members. I'm looking at their legal staff, and we're going to be in committee next week on a bill, and it's a Senator Portantino has a bill on requiring everybody to lock up their guns at home, safe storage, mandatory safe storage. So I'm going to give you the first line of my testimony. It's going to be, Senator Portantino, if I were as good at predicting your losses in the courts, if I were that good at predicting the lottery numbers, I'd be a multi-billionaire, because this one too is going to go down into the waste bin of unconstitutional legislative gibberish. And if you want to continue to waste the resources of the residents and taxpayers of California, you put this forward, and we will again defeat you, and you will again make sure that the state of California pays our attorney's fees. So thank you very much.
I'm liking it already. Okay, so what do you mentioned,
Yeah.
you talked about it a little bit, but I'm kind of curious what your thoughts are. I was anticipating the Ninth Circuit doing its usual kabuki dance of holding this thing and thinking about it and just using every little stupid thing they could do to just sort of drag it out and let it languish there as long as possible. So they'd have an excuse to leave this sensitive place thing in existence for the absolute nth instant before they had to do something about it. And now you're talking about April, which, as you said, is just, I mean, it's stellar. It's just ridiculously fast, particularly for the Ninth Circuit, but I think for any circuit court. To what do you attribute this, I don't know, for lack of a better word, this sense of urgency that never seems to have existed before where Second Amendment cases are concerned in the Ninth? I'm grateful for it, but I don't know what it is.
Me too. And I wish I were in the coffee room of the circuit court as all of the justices come in to pour themselves another cup of coffee, and you have all of the conservative judges who are just saying there, how's it feel getting your rear end kicked by the Constitution again? And if you better watch out, because it's coming again, and we're going to be there to tell you I told you so. That's just conjecture. Frankly, Joe, I don't understand the mentality of those people who hate the Constitution, who do not like lawful citizens arming themselves to defend themselves, to recreate with firearms, to do all of the things that the Second Amendment protects. I don't understand the mentality of them, including judges who literally read the words issued by the Supreme Court of the United States, and they, as inferior judges in inferior courts, cannot get it through their bowling ball heads that the law is not what they want it to be, and they better get in line or they're going to get crushed. And that's what I think is happening. So, if man, I don't have the energy to try to figure them out. I just, now that we've got them on their heels, Senator Richardson said something in excuse me for interrupting my brain thought here, but in confrontational politics, Senator Richardson said, far too often conservatives, once they get a political or legal victory, they kind of relax and they celebrate and they pat each other on the back and they go home and do the things that they love to do. He said, when you achieve a victory, that is the time when they are on their heels to continue to push them over. continue to bowl them over, continue to put the pressure on them so that they don't have a chance to regroup and come back at us again. And I think that's what we have to keep doing with the courts. Today we heard that the Cargill case was accepted for cert by the United States Supreme Court. That's another case that's going to give the court an opportunity to say, inferior courts, get the message. You are inferior. You're either going to have to abide by the law of the land, or we're going to hold you guys all in some sort of legal contempt, and maybe disbar some of you knuckleheads. I don't know what they're going to do, and I don't know what their options are, but we are on a roll. We're not going to let up, and I'm not prepared at this time, Joel, to stop and try to figure out why these guys are
Right.
doing what they're doing. Yeah.
I mean, who cares? Look, it's the Mike Tyson approach, right? You landed one on the butt and the dude's on his heels. Pound the crap out of him now. Don't take a breath. Don't sit back to admire your work. Just go knock the snot out of that clown until he's on his butt and he doesn't know what his name is. And that's pretty much what we got to do with this. I agree with you. I mean, I'm so tired of get a victory, lose the victory, get a victory, lose the victory. These folks are getting beat up, and they're getting beat up not just in California, but this whole idiotic mindset of control. It's so much more difficult to control a population that can express its opinions publicly because they have First Amendment rights of free speech. It's a lot more difficult to control a population that can resist or has the capability of resisting with force, by force. And so this is why they want to strip us of that. It's all about control. I may sound like a paranoid, conspiracy theorist, but it's only a conspiracy if it isn't true. And it is true. So now that they're on their heels in the courts, is the time not to let up. It is the time to pound them into the ground until they have no more fight left in them. And so that's what you guys are doing. That's what CRPA is doing. That's what the Firearms Policy Coalition is doing. That's what I'm grateful that that influencers are willing to step up and be. Thank you for Reno May. Thank you, the Armed Scholar. Thank you for these guys who are willing to step up and be plaintiffs for you. Sign me up. Here I am. Send me. I mean, whatever needs to be done. I'm just grateful. I urge you, if you're watching this, or if you haven't joined CRPA yet, you haven't join one of these. I don't care which one. Join the one that you feel that you want to support the most, but join one of the ones that's fighting together with each other to get these victories, particularly in these nanny states like California, where all of this crap begins and then ends up infecting the rest of the country. People ask me all the time, why do you stay? Well, this is why I stay. This is why Sam stays. Because if nobody stays to fight these battles, you're in a free state watching this, good for you. Guess what? If we don't beat this here, it's coming to a zip code near you. So I encourage you to get off your butt, if you haven't already, and join CRPA and get in this fight. We're winning. We're not going to win everything. Well, we will, but we're going to win some, we're going to lose some. We got a setback because we got to stay from Judge Carney, or we got an injunction from, and we got to stay. I heard so many people, I had so many whiners. Oh, well, it's never, the sky is falling. We're never going to win this back. We're never going to be able to carry again. What's the point of having a permit? Well, let's see. It's January 6th, sort of a historic day in this country now. And it's Saturday, January 6th, sort of a historic day in this country now. And we've just achieved another historic victory. Now, if I got to stop at the gas station or the restroom to take a piss because I've been on the road and I've had too many cups of coffee and I'm coming back from Arizona or whatever, I don't have to worry about getting arrested because I walked into the restaurant to go use the restroom, or because I wanted to buy something to eat and I happen to be carrying a gun. Thank you, Sam Paredes. Please thank your entire staff. I will personally thank Chuck Michelle because, like you, we're friends and I'm grateful for him. And I will thank Rick Travis and the rest of the staff at CRPA. And if I've never met the Armed Scholar. I've never met Reno May. I don't know him from Adam. In fact, I got to be honest with you. I probably wouldn't recognize them in public. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. But if you're watching this and you're not watching them, shame on you. Go and subscribe to those guys' channels if you haven't already. Okay, support those guys. Support the Second Amendment channels, the Second Amendment, the influencers who are fighting for your rights. You don't have to send them money. Just subscribe to their stinking channel and share their videos, for crying out loud. You can send money to Sam, though, not him personally, but to CRPA, and you can help out with the fight. This stuff costs money. So there you go.
GOC,
I ranted
Joel.
from my classroom today. How about that?
Joel.
GOC. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I say?
CRPA. Which,
Oh, I'm sorry,
which is it's like putting it in the same pot.
How many years have we been friends, and I can't figure out what
regards to the
organization
whole
you
legal
work
fight?
for?
But yeah.
How many years have we been friends?
Well, you know what?
I can't figure out that
it's because we're kind of a
GOC.
swirl. Oh golly.
I was ranting.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Joel, you know what? Folks, do not allow yourself to play the game of one-downsmanship. This is another thing that Senator Richardson used to teach in his treatise on confrontational politics. Our guys, you know, you show up to a group of our guys, and they're all standing around the Cracker Barrel at the gun store, and they're going, "Oh man, my pistol, the firing pin broke, so I can't shoot." Oh yeah, well, you know what happened? I wasn't on the list, and the DOJ came asking questions. Well, you know what happened to me is that, you know, this and that and the other. The last guy, you know, is talking about, well, you know what, the black helicopters landed in my backyard to take my gun collection. And you know who the party pooper is? The guy who comes in and says, "Hey guys, we can win this thing. Let's all chip in $25 or $35 to Gun Owners of California, CRPA, Second Amendment Foundation, Gun Owners of America, Gun Owners Foundation, any and or all of them, and we can win everything." And they go, "Oh, you're no fun. Or we're spoiling their game of one-downsmanship. Don't be that guy.
No, I
Get
agree.
involved. Don't get depressed. When you think it can't get any better because it's getting so bad, the cavalry comes in. We show our Superman shirts and our Captain America shields, and we're fighting to save the day, but we can't do it without you." So, and Joel,
so,
I love you, man.
I want to
You
redeem
are a
myself.
bright, shining light.
I appreciate that. And I want to redeem myself right here. Support Gun Owners of California. That's the hat, and that's Sam Paredes. He's the man, and he is. He's been fighting.
I know it was throwing you off. This was right next to me on my rock chucker.
Okay, so I just looked over here to see if I had a CRPA hat or something. I don't have a hat with me today. I feel stupid. I think I got one in the truck.
I'll do
go.
the Joel Persinger thing.
I do the right. I don't have one. I'm at work, so I don't have one. But
Yeah.
no, this
worries.
is marvelous stuff. Great win for Californians. Great win killing this nonsense, because California is not the only state that's tried this. And I think we're on a roll, and I'm looking forward to more wins. And I want to just reiterate, you just said it. Along the way, while we're winning, we're going to have temporary setbacks. We can't get all depressed and maudlin about it. We go, okay, we got a temporary setback. Hey, I've practiced martial arts for 25 years. I've been kicked in the head. Maybe that's what's wrong with me. I've been hit in the face. I've been knocked down. I've broken bones. I've done all kinds of things. But you know what? I never stopped a fight. I never stopped fighting. I never gave up on a fight. And we can't give up on a fight here. Even when we get hit, even if we get knocked down, we're going to get back up again, and we're going to go after it again. And like I said, if you're watching this and you have not been thinking that way, I'm going to correct you right here. Get with the program. Get with the fight. Start encouraging, not discouraging. We got enough Chicken Littles in the world talking about the sky falling. We got enough Eeyores saying, "Oh, my tail is falling off again." We don't need to do that as gun owners. We don't need to do that as Americans. We got to get in this fight and save our country. We're going to do it one step at a time. That's why God gave us 2 feet. And every step we take, we're going to make progress. And we're going to keep making progress until these people who hate our country and hate our rights have given up, because there's nothing left of them to fight. That's where we're at. That's where we're going. That's why I support this guy you can see on the screen and his organization, which, by the way, in case you don't know, is Gun Owners of California.
Joel, I love you, man.
I love
I
you
love
too,
you.
man. Thank you very much for jumping on with me kind of at the end of my class here. I just got the students just left right about the time we jumped on. So that was good. So great timing. Great timing.
Yeah,
But
I literally got off the phone with the lawyers when I sent you the text on what's going on. I literally just found out, and this is hot and breaking news. Spread the word. Spread the
great
word.
stuff. Great stuff. Sam, have a great evening. Have a wonderful weekend. And thank you very much for all your hard work. I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to put a link in the description so that you can support Gun Owners of California, because they need your support. They're fighting this battle. These folks, Gun Owners of California, CRPA, and these other organizations, they're carrying the water on this stuff. And it's expensive. So we got to help them. Okay. Thanks, Sam. Have a great week, man.
Love you, man. Talk to you soon.
You bet. Stay safe.
Bye.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
I like that kind of the fly by the seat of your pants approach, you know.